Right, so I'm recording now. So UltraMAP's been around for 10 years-ish. Telecoms as a sector. What's happening at the moment then? What's going on in the world of telecoms and the world of UltraMAP, please?
Well, at the moment, we're still in the, not quite the middle of the COVID-19 problems. And that's had an impact, I guess, in the way that there's more and more reliance upon online services. So in terms of telecoms, I think because of this reliance, there's definitely more perception about how the internet works. I think when we started monitoring subsea cables, I think there was the perception that the internet worked somehow in the sky. And of course it doesn't, it works off subsea cables between countries. And I think there's a little bit more understanding of how that is, and there's definitely more reliance upon the internet. And COVID-19 has sped that up a bit. So you see the disappearance of shops and online ordering is happening more and more often. So I think that will continue. I think there'll certainly be more and more reliance upon the internet. So the telecoms sector isn't so much voice communication, which is primarily what it used to be. That will still be there, but there's certainly more and more data moving along through communication channels. And I think that will continue. So there's not just data in terms of the ordering that I mentioned, but it's in terms of video, social networks, social media, and large data files traveling through these subsea cables.
This took me by surprise because I imagined that a significant percentage of the connectivity was in the sky, you know, but as you've helped, because I've worked with you for many years trying to, you know, tell the story of UltraMAP from a marketing and brand building perspective. That's what we've done together. And this has always surprised me about the reliance on the subsea aspect.
Well, it's kind of a natural thing, I guess, in that people generally are using wireless devices to connect to the internet these days, so wires aren't involved at all, but that's just the initial part of the communication. Once it gets into a data center and it needs to go somewhere else in the world, it will generally go through a cable under the sea.
In the sense that because it's the new normal, I know that's an overused phrase, the tolerance of it not working seems to be the intolerance of connectivity failing or pausing. It's the end of the world, isn't it? So that is that a newer pressure? Do you feel that more and more?
No, I think it's always been the same, but I think because there are more and more people doing what we're doing today, taking a Zoom call, chatting over Zoom, it becomes immediate. And I think certainly society is all about immediateness. People expect things to happen now and then. So when something doesn't work, it's kind of like panic sets in. So I think for us, it's just always been the same. So we always are trying to protect our customers' subsea cables and are trying to guarantee uptime all of the time. I think it's like I said earlier, there's just more awareness of the fact that they are reliant upon something physical.
Can you remind me, because we've talked about this, but can you remind me the more, for want of a better word, serious side of the telecoms connectivity? Because there's entertainment, I suppose, you know, that people want to still watch what they want to watch, but there's the more life-threatening and life-preserving aspects of connectivity, aren't
there? There certainly are. I think the whole world relies upon the communication of data. So financial institutions, bank transactions, stock market transactions, the health service, again, we rely upon data moving between organizations in different parts of the world, and the sharing of that data has become a necessity. So, yes.
Okay. As you've touched on this, but I want to have a quick chat about it before we stop. The future of the you know, telecoms and how information is transferred. We've said that, you know, there's a degree of acceleration, but it's always been important. Do you see anything else on the horizon that your customers are asking you for or asking about in the world of telecoms, please?
Certainly for us, our customers always need the same thing. So we help them maintain uptime. Our service is always on. Asset Monitor is a 24/7 service, or 24/7 monitoring services. On top of that, provide a physical intervention to vessels that are potentially breaking cables. So in terms of what we offer, I think we will always offer the same thing. I think our service will evolve to fit with the new technologies out there. So for example, there are always other ways to detect vessel movements around cables, and we'll always keep up with that. Mm-hmm. So Asset Monitor and UltraMAP will evolve to fit with technology. In terms of the technology for communications, I think that will also evolve. So we will always see some movements in terms of speed of cable. People are always looking for new, more efficient routes under the sea. There'll probably be some different routing technology. So I think things will always evolve naturally. And it's UltraMAP will have to keep up with that.
And what about your dialogue with vessels? I know that's a very small sentence, that's a very big subject, it would seem to me, but the way you communicate with and the way vessels and the companies that run vessels communicates with you over the years, have you seen you must be much more part of the infrastructure now. It's not just we're on the top of the ocean doing what we're doing and you lot are down there. You're the one who's going, whoa, hang on, you guys have got to coexist. How is your conversations, how have they developed over the 10, 11, 12 years you've been going with the world above the sea?
No, you're right. I think when we first started to try to talk to vessels out there encroaching on our customers' cables, it was, well, why are you talking to us? We've been here for years. Why do we need to change?
Yeah.
So I think as we have grown and our communications have grown, vessel fleets out there have got to know us, and they know what we're about now. So we're not all about scaring them away. Ideally, we want them to not be anywhere near our customers' cables. But you're right, everyone using the ocean has to work together because it's a shared space. So for us, it's more a realization that it's what we're doing is raising awareness for our customers' cables, and of course trying to move them away from where they are as we're talking to them. But I think you're right, we're now part of the ecosystem out there. Asset Monitor and UltraMAP are quite well-known names now for vessels out there. Yeah. And we have quite good relationships with some of the fishing fleets out there. And that's only helpful for us, them, and our customers.
That's good. That's good. So you're all working together much more now than
yeah, and that will continue to grow as well as when we evolve or move into other areas of the world, but certainly around the UK and Europe where we first started. I would say pretty much everyone knows us, has heard of us now, and respects what we do.
Okay. Thanks, Martin. That's great. Thank you.
Scott, right?
Thank you.